Now, I know that technically the Major League Baseball season has already started. Dodgers 2-0, Cubs 0-2. But the Rangers start...
That's dumb, right? Have we discussed how dumb that is?
Oh, are you taking the Gavin Dawson approach about how the import-export ratio for our sporting events might not be...
No,
I thought it was really funny the way you said it.
I think it's a really cool thing, but it separates. Baseball opening day is great. And
don't you think that's still going to be what most people think?
Probably
it's
so.
Opening day.
I guess it's just me that I'm just kind of like, it just seems like it doesn't exist to me. Like the season hasn't officially started.
I think that is a fair way to take it. Now, Jim, I'm going to give you the opportunity to pick where we go first. I have statistical projections for Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Adolis, Langford, Berger, Eovaldi, Jacob deGrom. Which player would you like us to start with?
Let's start with Wyatt Langford.
Wyatt Langford. The projected statistics for Wyatt Langford. Now, this is all based on betting, but I feel like this would be a disappointing season for a lot of Rangers fans. 18.5 home runs and 78.5 RBIs. Now, remember, this is for betting perspectives. So when you ask, like, what's a half a home run or whatever, considering he had 16 and 74 last year, would you not be disappointed? Maybe really disappointed if that's what Wyatt Langford had this season.
You know, he was hurt for, 30 games or so?
Yeah.
So I think definitely be disappointed.
Yeah,
So he should exceed, the hope would be that he'd exceed that.
If you're buying into Wyatt Langford, you should hit the overs pretty hard on this.
Yeah, 74 is an interesting number. Where do we know where he is in the lineup? Is he third? I
think I could see that.
He, if he's hitting third consistently, he might not get the opportunity to drive in 74 because maybe Corey Seager's cleaning up in front of him.
And it's 74 was last year. This year's 78 and a
78?
half.
Okay, 74. Maybe not even there. But the home runs, I do expect that to be higher. I would hit the over on that easy.
What would be your guess?
25.
I think that's a really good guess.
That's a number that I'll be comfortable throwing out there.
All right, Alec, I'm going to give you the next opportunity. Which Texas Rangers player statistics would you like to know after Wyatt Langford?
Ooh. Give me Marcus Simeon because he's got a weird trend of season-to-season slumps. I want to see where he goes here.
That is a great point because I feel like these projections are kind of made as if the good or the great season, mediocre season Marcus Semien days are over.
Okay.
And they're like, I'm going to stick with the mediocre season. So the projection's there. 23.5 home runs, 77.5 RBIs, and 92.5 runs. So those statistics are all kind of in line, if not even a tiny bit lower on the home runs than last year when he's a really good player, but safe to say we all thought last year was disappointing for Marcus Semien?
I could understand that. I mean, yes, his batting average was as low as it's been in 5 years. He just didn't seem to be getting the same pop that he wanted to.
For sure.
And he wasn't on base enough. And granted, the team wasn't good. The injuries piled up on him, and he still played 159 games with as bad as everything was around him.
He's an incredible specimen of,
durability.
Durability, that's the word I was looking for.
He set the bar really high, though, in 23. And that definitely is one of the reasons that you kind of look at it that way.
And I know we can't just go over on all of these, but I want to take you down to Jacob deGrom. How many games do you think deGrom is going to win? I'm not getting into the argument about if wins are a pitcher stat or I know that exists. I'm not having that debate right now. How many wins will Jacob deGrom have this season?
6.
Oh. Alec?
25. No.
That's too many.
I wish.
I don't think he's had more than 15 in his career.
That would be amazing.
Is that right? Oh my gosh.
I'll go 8.
Okay. Jim, how many wins?
I'm going to be hopeful in 10.
Okay.
Kevin, I want to point some numbers out real quick.
Point them.
The year that he won 15 games, his ERA was 3.53.
Oh, wow.
The year that he won 4 games, his ERA was 2.38, and he pitched only 12 games that year.
That was the COVID year, right?
I believe so. And then the year after his 15 games, he won 10 with a 1.70 ERA. And he pitched in 32 games that year.
Okay.
But it's been a while since he's pitched more than 15 games, or at least gotten to 15 games.
All right, so he could win the Cy Young with 10 wins. Man, maybe you don't hit the over on this one. 8.5.
Yeah.
Is the over-under win total for Jacob deGrom. Are you more optimistic about his ERA? Over-under 2.99. That feels like a decent under bet right
I will
there,
take
right?
the under. I will definitely take the under on that. The only time he's been over that since 2017 was 2022. That's the only time he's ever been over it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Jim, you taking the under?
I'll take the under. I think the issue is durability, and so I think it's how many games does he pitch versus...
Okay, so I'll throw it out there.
If we could take a little bit of Simeon's durability and apply it to deGrom, and a little bit of deGrom's pitching ability and apply it to Semien, would be great.
Which would you rather have, though? You'd rather have Semien durability on deGrom,
yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's say I say he starts 22 games this year.
All right.
Does that sound low?
I'm taking that
high?
ERA low. Oh, 22 games.
Yeah.
I think that's high.
Okay.
I think I would probably be more in the 18 range is kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to treat him with white gloves. I really do.
That's probably true.
They want to get him to the playoffs. They need to be there. They need to get there, but they want him to be available for that because it gives them a better opportunity to do the Nate Eovaldi, Jordan Montgomery combo.
If you're going low on another number, especially when you said that number starts, 155 and a half strikeouts for Jacob deGrom. That hasn't happened in 6 years.
So
Now I realize the COVID year was 2020, so that kind of wipes it out. He would have gotten there for sure in 2020, but it's been a minute.
based on my numbers, he's going to have to strike out just over 10 people per game that he
It's going to be a
starts.
lot. You're gonna need.
Which he can do. Like, he can do that. He's a 10 strikeout guy.
All right, you guys have the opportunity. Here are the selections I have left for if you want to know. We probably only have time for one or two more. Eovaldi, Berger, Adolis, and Seager.
Those are all great names. I like it.
But you can only pick one.
Adolis.
Okay, Adolis Garcia. 25 and a half home runs, 84 and a half RBIs. So if you look at it, it's pretty much they have it exactly in line with what he did last year. And so I'll say this again, much like we talked about Marcus Semien earlier. If Adolis Garcia has a season like last year, or maybe even just a little bit better than last year, that is a disappointment, is it not?
Yeah, I think he's having a season more like, let's say 2021. Where he had 31 home runs, 90 RBI. That was still, it seems like the RBIs are low.
Yeah.
But that's more in range of what I'm expecting. He hit 243 that year. I'm expecting him to be back this year. I really am. I'm not thinking that this dude's coming back this year and having a similar type of last year.
Alec, what do you think about the prospects of the Adolis bounce back here as opposed to the betting odds saying he'll probably be in about the same spot?
I think Corey's right. I think I'm there with him that this will be a bounce back year. And if he does get back to form to what we're used to, I think Adolis Garcia is more like a 3,100 guy. So I'm taking the over.
Jim, you think bounce back year or no?
I'm actually thinking that Simeon is more likely to have a bounce back year, and Adolis, I think, is on a decline, and so will not have a bounce back year.
Okay.
Sadly.
I mean, look, Adolis just turned 32, so that might be the case. Now, I said it would be tough to beat that one specific experience about going to see the perfect game right before your dad passed and seeing it with your dad. Now, this is not a competition among all people, but this is probably going to be tough to defeat as well. From the 903, their best sports experience, they were at the Odor Punch game, and it happened right about 10 minutes after this person asked his wife to marry him.
Wow. So he asked his wife to marry him. She said no, and then
I assume
Odor punches this guy, and he's like, "Yes."
I don't think those two were necessarily related.
Oh, did she say yes?
I mean, he said it is his wife.
Makes sense.
So
Could have been a different wife.
I don't know if this is an Angel Reese situation where she said no and then he rebounded and then put it back in or not.
What?
We're the KNC masterpiece, The Shot, you guys. Come on.
You should go ahead and mark that one. I don't know if you already have a stack full based on how things went this week.